Hey guys, how's it going? It's your boy MPS here, back here with the third and penultimate part of my birthday wish list. I hope you enjoy it. I was thinking, I should be careful not to overthink. That's myself, but what's left of them. But on a serious note, I was thinking like video content creation could be a bit like a book in a way, or a spoken book, or talking books, or whatever. And I suppose I do talk a lot about my own dreams and stuff like that, and thoughts. So I thought it could be a bit like my own biography. In which case, I suppose YouTube and even Facebook would be a bit like a library. But I'd love to know what you think about that. And hope you enjoy this. And as ever, I hope you enjoy all my videos, preferably. But I'd love to read your comments and what you think about these mad ideas of mine and mad dreams of mine and whatnot. So here goes. Here are list point number 21 to 30, or ideas number 21 to 30, or whatever you call it. So as I say, I wonder if this is any resemblance to me, do you think? And on that note, as ever, I'd love to know what you think. So please do post it in the comments. All comments welcome, especially constructive criticism or positive reinforcements or comments, if there's anything I covered that you like as well. So here goes. So number 21, I dream that one day, preferably around my birthday, if not before really, I will finally get to finish unfinished business. I'd love to get a lot of projects started that I wanted to get started, like creating a social enterprise to benefit what I call people from what I call the six, and create lots of projects I hope will make the world a better place. And things that I didn't quite get around to doing, or for whatever reason. I hope I'll be able to work on those finally, basically do unfinished business, to work on those sorts of things. Number 22, I suppose, like any day, I'd love to just, if I could, I'd love to have fun and enjoy myself. I get a bit grumpy on my birthdays because, like, I suppose some people celebrate birthdays, but now I'm disappointed about turning older, as I say, and not achieving a lot of things. So I'd love to achieve a lot of things before my birthday if I could. And hopefully not be so grumpy on my birthday, but I suppose like eating nice food, drinking nice drinks or stuff like that, maybe being unhealthy for one day or a few days of the year, but generally speaking, I'm trying to improve my diet, but maybe have like fizzy drinks and chocolates and things like that on that day. And probably not every day like I normally do, but maybe just have 1 or 2 days a year, as I say, like Christmas or birthdays where I indulge in junk food, but the other days I could try and eat and drink more healthily. Although normally like Fridays are my cheat days, maybe on Fridays and Sundays, possibly even Mondays, so 2 or 3 days a week where I have junk food and stuff like that. So, but on the other days, at least 3 or 4 days a week, so at least about half the time I should try and eat and drink more healthier, I guess. Number 23, I'd love to do lots of fundraising and put the fun into fundraising. I'd love to go on TV shows like Deal or No Deal quite a few times if I could. I think the rule is you're only supposed to go in, if you do get on the show, you're only supposed to go in on once. But I'd love to be able to go loads of times, like to raise money for different causes. Some for myself to be like more independent, and some for my 5 chosen causes, which I talk about, and things like that, and possibly even to fundraise for different things like a cure for cancer, or things like cancer research and things like that. And I'd love to go on lots of different quizzes and different quiz shows or whatever, where I could fundraise for charity, like if I could win prize money for different causes, and things like that. If I could, I would for some selfish causes as well, like as I call them, causes like Italian football. But I suppose that's the only cause I would class as selfish. But as I say, I would love to also fundraise for a lot of worthy causes, good causes, and things like that. I'd say from a selfish point of view, Italian football. But I'd also love to fundraise for a lot of good causes and things like that. Hopefully, I won't be too cringeworthy. Knowing me, I probably would. But anywho, moving on, number 24, I would love to support farmers in developing nations, and like farmers of color, black farmers, black, Asian, mixed race, and or Native American or Latino and Hispanic farmers, perhaps, and things like that. So farmers from disadvantaged backgrounds or underrepresented communities or whatnot, especially from the black diaspora, and I suppose possibly Asian farmers as well. and probably supporting farm like all the six, and that kind of thing. Number 25, I'd love to make a network for republics around so they can network together, support each other, share ideas, for instance, and things like that, and just generally support each other as much as possible. So bringing together countries like China, India, even America, and countries that don't always get along just for the fact they're republics, hopefully they can bring them together. You can probably tell I'm not that patriotic because although I'm from Britain, I'm very much in favour of republicanism or republics. Basically, I don't mean any violent type of republicanism. I don't mean things like the IRA or stuff like that, basically, but republic themselves, I would just support, including Ireland, I suppose, but in peaceful ways, like where they can help, where they can trade together, share ideas together, and have cooperation on different areas, and just basically benefit each other as much as possible. Number 26, also countries that are colonized, I'd love to bring them together as well, generally, and trying to get people to support them as much as possible, like anti-imperialists around the world, to benefit us across Asia and Africa, and countries that are colonized generally, like Ireland, and basically what I call the six, or emerging market economies as well. An exception to that in what I call the six would be Latin American countries, because I suppose technically they were the ones who colonized, but as they're emerging market economies, I still wish for them to network with African and Asian nations, like as emerging market economies. I suppose they kind of do already, but I hope they will network together even more. Like they could work on, I'm not a big fan of militarism, but they could work on like defense cooperation where they do practice drills together to prevent potential invasions or any other threats to their nations, including cyber threats or terrorism or anything like that. Number 27, I dream that if I do benefit, which I hope to do, obviously, nations like what I call the six, I hope that they will support Italian football and Celtic to sort of thank me for supporting them. Number 28, I dream that my birthday, and as I said before, like my birth month could be like a positive month that will make the world a better place, as I say, and turn negative situations into positives. So I think it'd be cool if August itself was like a positive month for the world, as I mentioned before, like with good weather, peace, joy, love, and all those positive things. Number 29, that reminds me of a point I was going to mention in point number 21. As I say, 21 again. I actually mentioned it initially in point number 8, but as 8 rhymes with hate, but I like to turn it into love, because I don't like to hate, I always like to love instead, if I can. But I was thinking, like, it's a bit corny, but I'd love to love and be loved. But I'm not into like romantic type of love. I'm into not into romance, but I'm into like love as in charity, sympathy, empathy, supporting others and stuff like that, which I think is less conditional. Like romance to me always comes with conditions, pretty much, as far as I'm aware. Like a lot of women would be like, or even some men sometimes, I said don't be too hypocritical, but a lot of times it's like how much money do you make, or how tall you are, how muscular you are, and basically what you can provide for the other person. So I think romantic love to me always sorts of, or generally speaking anyway, seems to come with conditions. It pretty much always seems to come with conditions. And number 30, a lot of things I'd love to do on my bed, probably won't share, especially on Facebook, but you can probably guess what they are. So, a bit foolish of me to even perhaps, but anyway, I was probably running out of ideas, I suppose. So anyway, I wish you peace and love, and I'm out.